This is a clip from the Iced Coffee Hour. Sitting down with Doug DeMuro. Those of you who know who Doug DeMuro is, he always begins every single video without fail with this, stretching out the arms. Yes.
This man made millions of dollars with literally a bone stock camera production. He got a camera, a tripod. Never mind. An iPhone, a tripod, puts it there and say, "This is whatever vehicle that I'm driving, and I'm about to go over it." Dun dun. Became a millionaire.
Yeah, and he's been doing the exact same thing for well over 10 years now on YouTube.
That goes to show you, you don't need the most expensive stuff. All you have to do is just have fun doing what you're doing and be great at it. That's it.
Have fun, have some passion, have some talent, preferably.
That too.
Yeah, but that's all. The barriers to entry have never been lower. That's why back in my radio days, I always dreamed of having my own chat show, similar to something like Rush Limbaugh. Also, big fan of Johnny Carson back when he was hosting the Tonight Show. So I figured, bring some top 40 enthusiasm, crack some jokes, talk about the things I want to talk about. That was the dream. I did not realize it until I actually started doing it, but VTubing, I'm doing it now. The dream is true, and it is being realized now in real time. I'm doing what I always dreamed of doing. I just didn't do it in radio because nobody's listening to the radio. People are watching live streams. People are watching VTubers. And so I took all the things I learned from radio, applied it, added in the magic of television with the visual elements, and here we are, living the dream.
And you're doing a real good job, man. Hand you your flowers. You are doing a bang-up job. So I can't wait to see you next year, man. You're going to be somebody great. You're going to be one of the ones. Now, hopefully I'm standing right next to you.
Here's hoping. We'll see. You're good at it. Well, thank you, Steelbear. Thank you. So glad I found you guys. Thank you for that, Jess. I'm blessed to have found you as well. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Likewise.
Right. Let's get to this. Iced Coffee Hour. Great show. We get a chance, watch the full VOD. I'm sure it's available on Spotify as a podcast. But sitting down, the Iced Coffee Hour blokes sitting down, talking with Doug DeMuro. Title of the video, Why Car Subscriptions Are About to Take Over. Let's give it a watch.
The continued advancement of self-driving is going to be the greatest thing that ever happened to like American commuters. I don't know how often you use your self-driving.
I never use it.
Oh, I use it.
The real
the
drivers.
Greatest thing in my life. When I'm on
Bro is
those
sounding
types of
like
drives,
a tourist.
like if you're in bumper to bumper, you don't commute, right? So you're probably not.
I don't.
But you can imagine, like if you're commuting like to San Diego from Temecula or
He's
from
the old man that's
Houston,
now
or like there's you're sitting in bumper to bumper on the 405 or the DC Beltway.
We need more Brits like you, less Bents like James Corden. Yeah, Corden is what an absolute phony he turned out to be, and just how insufferable. But yeah, maybe I'm just way too old school. Maybe I'm too set in my ways. Anybody going on about, and look, from a strictly objective academic perspective, I suppose I could see some of the merits of self-driving cars.
Yeah.
Of that sort of turning on that functionality in busy traffic like he's talking about. It still makes you sound like a tourist. It still makes you sound like someone who is not a proper petrol head.
Yeah.
I get it.
There's ways for it, like maybe
still sound like a tourist.
Yeah, there's ways for it, like maybe like taxi, in a sense of maybe you got hella drunk, and to avoid driving yourself, you order the Uber, and Uber is a fully autonomous vehicle. I can see it like that, but your own personal vehicle, I mean, it's a nice party trick.
Yeah, but in the end, that's kind of all it is. Sort of. Anyway.
Like you don't have to do anything. That's kind of nice. And that's the tech that I'm,
It's
even as a car
nice.
enthusiast, I'm most excited for. I think the daily driver cars should be appliances and can be appliances, and that's totally fine.
What do you think of them turning all of these things then into subscriptions? It just seems like more and more and more companies are leaning towards, hey, if we get all these people,
you will own nothing and be happy.
And you'll pay for everything.
Yeah, even for your heated seats, which that still just drives me around the bend that BMW would even think of doing something like that. I was like, no,
Dude,
I'm not paying you $20 a month to use my own bloody heated seats.
I think it's in this video or another video. They are charging you a subscription. Well, Toyota is charging you a subscription to turn on your own radio. And there's some cars, you know how we have automatic headlight, high beams now? Now they're putting that behind a paywall to use the automatic headlight beams, which is a safety feature.
Yeah, it's like safety feature like that. How can they legally get away with that? I would think that the regulators would want to have a word about that. Which is like, look, I'm fine switching them on manually, but still, that's stupid, charging a fee to have something do automatically that is a safety function. That's going to get people killed. That's going to get people killed, and it's going to get them sued, and the only people that are going to really get out ahead with that is the lawyers.
Yep.
On a subscription with us, we'll make a lot more money.
Sure.
And I'm sorry to keep pausing, but if they are wanting to charge a monthly fee for me to turn on my own radio in my own car, I am ripping out that head unit and I am installing a Pioneer or a Kenwood from a shop down the road.
This is why I think it's ridiculous that people pay for Spotify when regular radio is just as free, and you get a lot. Not Spotify, Sirius XM. I got it mixed up. Sirius XM, where you can get a lot of the same channel that you get on Sirius XM on the regular radio. You just got to look more. That's it.
Yeah, it ultimately just makes no sense, and you're also charging a fee for something that less and less people are using, because it's like the only reason I would ever listen to SiriusXM is because I've run out of something in a playlist on my phone.
Or my phone is dead.
Oh yeah, your phone is dead. Same with standard AM/FM radio, which the AM band in some countries, especially European Union nations, they've stopped shipping cars with AM radios now. It's gone.
That's crazy.
And they've even, I think, some Nordic countries, they've turned off the AM spectrum, mainly because it interferes too much with Bluetooth frequencies. But just going to FM or whatever's left of HD radio, which I think that's been phased out in the US. I'm not seeing any talk about HD radios.
They're not trying to phase them out. They're just trying to lock them behind a paywall now. So basically, if you're not using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, if you want to use your own system that comes into the car that you mentioned earlier that you're paying for, they're trying to lock those features, the inboard navigation, the radio, and all that. They're trying to lock that behind a paywall now. Which again,
I hate that.
These companies are trying to take Apple CarPlay and Android Auto out. Chevy is already doing it. Ford is trying to do it. Who else is trying to do it?
It is all just a continuation of inshittification by private equity. Of doing the rug pull of what was once free. They're now charging you through the nose for it. And it just makes everyone hate it, and it just makes the product itself, in terms of perception and quality and everything, it's shit.
Crap.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's sad. It's sad, and it only goes on for as long as we're willing to tolerate it.
Yep.
I suppose when new car dealers start having masses of inventory to get torched by people pissed off enough about it, they might stop. But until that time comes, this is gonna keep going.
you know we're in a messed up where times are bad when we agree with radical leftists on torching some vehicles.
Yeah, because how else are you going to get through to them? How else are you going to get through to them except to hit them in the pocketbook where it hurts? And that's about one of the only ways that it's going to happen. Not that we're advocating for that sort of thing for legal reasons. We disavow.
No,
but this is where we're at now. This is where we're at.
This is only a discussion. We're only expressing our opinions. We're not advocating for anything of that sort.
Yeah, sad state of affairs. It really is, and it didn't have to be this way. It really did not have to be this way.
That's the right business model. So if you can trick people, or trick is the wrong word. But if you can convince people to do
accurate.
it,
You had it right.
Really hoping they can convince people to do it, then they're gonna do it. So the question is, how hard are people gonna push back? And that kind of thing. I mean, what do I think of it? I don't want to do it, but like, do I want to do anything? Do I want to have 19 different TV subscriptions so that every time my son wants to watch something, I got to actually Google how to watch it, before I can actually watch it? Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
But like, that's
when you think about it, Google has become the new TV guide.
YouTube. I tell everybody to go to the University of YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but to find out what's on where, Google has become the new form of TV guide. I don't know if anyone's old enough besides me to remember TV Guide. It was an actual thing you could buy in the supermarket, or you could get a version of it in your local newspaper, showing you what's on what channel and at what time and on what day.
It's the best way for those companies
I know
to
they used to have
monetize
it on the remote too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it became a digital thing with cable and satellite, but before that, it was a print publication. In your local paper or on the shelf at the checkout counter at your local supermarket.
The yellow pages too. Oh,
yeah. Who even remembers the yellow pages, or picking up a phone book to try and figure out what the phone number is?
I asked this question last week. Atlas. Who all knows what an atlas is?
Yeah. If you're a professional driver, you still have to keep one of those in your lorry and refer to it, because sat navs will fail on you.
Yes, they will.
Back when the phone book was
back in our day,
it made for quite the blunt instrument.
That thing is soft and a brick at the same time. How, Sway? How?
Gives new meaning to the old slogan, let your fingers do the walking.
I'm saying.
Those things, and that may happen with cars if we let it.
I think they're going to have a subscription for everything. Like, you want a subscription for tires?
Yeah,
just pay monthly this low price. We'll give you new tires every time you need it.
Yeah, I never thought there'd be like a phone subscription, but that's exactly what it is the thing now. And
or a whole lot of hidden
the remote start subscription.
Yeah,
for $20 a month, you get to remote start your car. You get access to the app.
What does that even mean?
If you want to preheat the car,
can't you just have hardware that?
Yeah, but you have to unlock it with.
But there are some benefits to this remote, because it's through their like app that kind of controls like where the car is positioned.
This is where I'm scared of the whole app thing.
Yeah,
because just like what Tesla is doing, they're using your phone as the key. When are they going to start using it to where your phone is the key, and now you have to pay? Not only are you paying for the vehicle, now you have to pay a subscription to unlock your car doors, to start the engine. This is a dangerous road we're headed. And I see what Doug is saying from a business perspective. Yeah, it's going to make money, but that is anti-consumer as fuck.
There's more to life than profit. There's more to life than making money.
Yes.
At some point, you have to think about the human element and the customer themselves, and if it really is moral to nickel and dime them like that, because you take the macro view of things, that's what you're doing. You're nickeling and diming the customer, and no customer likes to be nickeled and dimed for anything.
But you would think people would know that, especially these multi-million-dollar organizations, but nope, greed always takes over. And like Doug said, at first, he said the right word. How can we trick them into accepting this? Because
that's all it is. Marketing tricks.
Once they get enough people, like I said, the key fob. Now, if it was just a phone, yeah, sure. but they're going to try to wait to phase the key fob out, and now it's going to be your phone. And like I said, because a lot of people don't know, they are doing this in apartment complexes now. They're switching all the keys into fobs, and for a service that used to be free, now those same apartments that had the fob are now charging an $80 fee or an $85 tech fee on top of the apartment, which is sewn into the apartment. You have to pay it. So now you're being charged to open your front door, and you can't opt out of it.
And if you do choose to opt out of it, you have to go live somewhere else, probably in a bad part of town.
Let's say I flew out at the airport. My wife's coming in the next day. You know, she doesn't have the key on her. I can start the car from my app. I'm in Hawaii. I can start the car for her, and she drives it home and then gets the key. She doesn't have to carry it with her or whatever. Like, you can imagine scenarios where you might want it. I didn't do it in my Sequoia. Once the free period ended, I gave up.
I could see them also adding a subscription for different drivers in the car. Yeah. Like if a driver wants to, I put Jack on my Tesla key card, it's like that's $10 a month.
All of this stuff could happen. The question is, will people let the automakers get away with it? So far, no. Automakers have tried. Like I think it was BMW tried heated seats, and there was such a backlash that people. I actually find it odd how big of a backlash there is, because to me, it's almost entirely a consumer. It's like a way of framing your thought, really. Like, we have no problem paying $10,000 more for the bigger engine, but we have a problem paying $150 a month more for the friggin' electric car for like the more power. And if you actually
you see this sort of thing with other big purchases that people do. You've got people that will scrimp and save for the down payment on a big house, $500,000 or more, probably willing to pay an extra $100,000 to get that game room or that private cinema or whatever.
Yep.
And then they balk at some of the closing costs that they have to pay up front.
Yep.
And it's small in comparison, one time, but that's the thing that they choose to protest, not having to shell out an extra $50,000-$100,000 to get a private home cinema.
But even with, because Lucian Wolf, an engine is usually a one-time purchase. Yeah, it used to be, and that's where you're wrong. Now, with certain vehicles, now you have to pay a subscription to have access to the full potential of your engine.
It's ridiculous.
Is it a one-time purchase yet?
Thank you for the hydrate redeem, Harold.
Think about it. It's not that different, right? How many, you had the bigger engine, you paid $10,000 more for it. How long did you own the car? Divide that by the number of months. That's how much you paid per month, right? Yeah. Like, it makes some sense. But that's not how people think about it. And we made that, we tried to go down that road in our podcast as like a thought exercise, and people were vicious. That's not how they think about it.
You know what? I want to make a prediction. I think for electric cars, you're going to have to pay a subscription to unlock more range and more power.
Yeah. There are already EVs that make you pay more for more power if you want it.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's interesting because done right, the subscription model for features actually
that should be illegal as hell.
Like, what if you only want a car that has a heated driver's seat?
Yeah, but when you're Elon Musk, the richest man on the whole damn planet, you can buy any politician you want.
Yeah. True and real.
$5 every time you want to start your engine. Yeah, probably have one of those little intake things where you just slide your $5 in or swipe your card.
$2 if you want to refuel your gas.
But I want a car. I got a family. I want a car that has all the heated seats. So you don't have to pay as much as me. You pay the $2 a month for the heated driver's seat. I pay the $20 for the. You get the point. Like, you can actually see a way, but of course the companies will not structure it in a way that will benefit the consumer.
No.
But you could see that happening. Like, do I need a radio in a car anymore? I only ever hook up my phone and use Bluetooth. I don't care about satellite radio. I don't care that it's even installed. The module's even there. I would happily pay.
I listen to satellite radio on occasion. I don't really subscribe anymore. But when's the last time any of you in chat or Spider, when have any of you turned on Sirius XM?
Well, I never, because the one time I used Sirius XM is when I had bought my Hyundai Accent, and they gave me 3 months for free.
Yeah, as soon as 3 months for free.
Expired, guess who was using FM radio? But as to your question, when was the last time I touched the radio? Ooh, it's been a hot minute. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
I know it was this year because it did happen one time where I unfortunately had to deal with regular radio and I had to listen to mumble rap again.
Oh God.
Because I think it was. I think my the phone charger I had it finally gave out. It was out of the cord or the port that plugs into the socket. So on my way to Best Buy to get another one, I had to hear. Yeah.
You're listening to BBC Radio 1.
Yes. Or the Mumble Singers. Yeah. Those are my favorite.
Which probably make up most of the playlist on Radio 1 these days. I pay for TuneIn Radio. Yep. Besides that, I use YouTube Music. Yeah, that's. I think that's what most people, or Spotify Premium. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for those of you who are outside of North America and don't know, satellite radio, specifically Sirius XM, basically imagine like cable or satellite television, except it's all radio. It's all audio-only channels, and it works similar to your standard AM, FM, or marine wave radio bands. Just everything is through satellite, through a small little satellite receiver built into the car's antenna. It's not even a proper aerial anymore. It's more like a little fin.
Like shark fin.
Yeah, and just picks up everything from a satellite in the sky. So clear view of the sky. You can pick up CD quality stereophonic sound, and across hundreds of channels. But yeah, that's the thing, is that most people are not willing to pay for Sirius XM. They'll listen to it with a free trial, with a new or even a gently used car that's got a built-in. After that, nothing.
Oh yeah, when the first time, like I said, the only time I listened to Sirius XM is when I had bought my Honda. When I bought my Acura, as soon as I seen Sirius XM come in my mail, it went straight to the shredder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
I didn't even want the free trial.
It's not worth it. I mean, they're like, to get everything, they're asking you for $30, and it's like, I don't listen to all that enough to justify that.
Yeah, it's
like, I don't even know if I'd want the $10 or $15 package where you just get the music channels, because I've got maybe a handful of channels that I would listen to, and I can just listen to all that stuff through Spotify or some other service.
And they're still giving you ads, so you're still paying for radio. Yeah, it's slightly different because you listen to slightly different songs, but you are paying for advertisement.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
No.
Even with the music channels that are supposed to be commercial free, you're still going to be hitting promos of Sirius XM, and then those apparently don't count.
Yep, and then it's like going on the toll road to avoid traffic, just to end up in traffic.
Yeah.
It's like, if I'm going to be stuck in traffic, I might as well be stuck in traffic for free.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
The lower amount, but with hardware, that's difficult to do. But with software, you could see it potentially.
What's that one car that you could buy for really cheap where you like assemble
the Slate truck?
Yeah. Oh, the Slate. I remember that.
It's like a bare bones thing, and you pay for every little thing extra. Like you want a radio?
About to make them, or they not about to make them?
I don't know. I don't even know if they're road going yet.
That's going to be
how expensive is the base model of it?
There's been a lot of talk. We'll see is the answer. Like they said it would cost X, but it's EV, and that included the subsidies, which have gone away since they announced it. So who knows? But also, like, who knows what these things actually cost by the time they reach the market?
There have been so many potential car companies over the past 10, 15 years that have just been absolute failures to launch.
Yeah.
I think Tesla, Lucid, and Ineos.
What's the one that made the truck that competed with Tesla before the Ford Lightning came out?
I don't remember, but maybe you can count it on one hand. The amount of car companies that have survived long enough to make an actual road-going car and sell it through a proper dealer network.
Mm-hmm.
Ruby, welcome in. My mum uses Sirius, not me, though. Yeah, it's mostly the older generations, but also older generations are the only ones that are still listening to, say, AM talk radio in the US, or radio in general. Most of radio is now suffering from the Woolworths effect, where the older generations are the only ones listening. Younger generations, they're not bothering, because there's nothing there that's of interest to them. Because why would you? Why would you listen to music radio on the FM band when you can be your own DJ, build up a playlist of music you like through an app like Spotify?
Yep. No commercials.
And little or no commercials, yeah. Certainly not as many commercials as what you would find on FM or even AM radio. I mean, I was always, it always floored me, the amount of commercial breaks in AM talk radio. You know, I actually built up a playlist in Player when I had a premium subscription to Rush Limbaugh, just to see what it was like. This was a 3-hour show broadcast over the midday in the United States. And later on, you were able to get it on demand, commercial free. They put so many commercials in Rush's show. A 3-hour program could be compressed into actual programming time, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Half the time it was all commercials and local news and station breaks.
It was like what YouTube had did with Kirsten stream that one time when she had put them on blast. She had like a 3-hour or 4-hour stream, and that thing was filled with so many ads it looked like Morse code. So pretty much that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insanity. It is insanity.
Which you're still paying for, by the way.
Yeah. If it is an opera, classical music, or rebroadcast of old radio plays, I'm driving with nothing on. Yeah, some people just opt to do that. I don't know. Me, I've got to have podcasts or an audiobook going. It's getting to the point where it's getting hard for me to have certain types of music playing, because it actually does relax me a bit too much to where I start to feel fatigued.
True and real.
I put on like jazz music or city pop, which is still lively enough, but even then it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna fall asleep at the wheel if I keep listening to this, so I had to turn it off.
5 years from now.
Put on that rock music.
It's a cool idea. The thing that has generally stopped that has been manufacturing. Like, it is difficult to have like a menu. It's much easier to, if they get the satellite radio, they also get the heated seats and they also get the heated steering wheel. And then the manufacturing process, it makes manufacturing a lot easier, which in a way I think has probably made some of those features just generally cheaper. That's what's been hard for automakers to do it. Cars that had individually selectable options, it was always more expensive than like bundled packages.
What's one feature that every single car that's made in 2026 should have?
I don't know. I don't think there's anything that's like
Matrix?
That essential that isn't mandated by the government.
Okay, sure.
Backup cameras, but you have to. I think most people, you should still be able to kind of choose what you want. And some people really do want bare bones, ultra low end stuff.
Sure,
I'm going to say something. Let me say something. I think it's perfect. Front facing cameras.
Front cameras are really nice. Not that many cars have them at all. Yeah. I do think a camera rear view mirror is the greatest feature I've ever had in any car, and I think it should be in all cars.
That is clever.
I do think that this is going to get me in trouble with the car enthusiasts, but I do think that hybrid technology has proven itself and is already in most cars, but probably needs to make its way into basically every car at this point.
I mean, you can build a hell of a sports car with a hybrid powertrain. I mean,
it's more efficient than regular.
Yeah, Toyota's hybrid platform, torque is available instantaneously. The fuel economy is absolutely incredible.
And everything. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think the only people that have really perfected it, though, and put it in a proper sports car has been Porsche. Everyone else can't be bothered.
Well, because they're going mostly by the carbon or the emission things. They just try to make it more fuel efficient, in which it is. With hybrids was the first one to do regenerative braking, where when you brake, it recharges your batteries and stuff like that. It drinks less fuel, so you're going to the gas stations less. Charging, it doesn't take that much to charge them. So hybrid vehicles are
charged up by the petrol part of the engine. Unless it's a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah. But yeah, hybrid vehicles are like the only bad thing about hybrid vehicles is, of course, like with anything, when that check engine light comes on, that's the only thing. But outside of that, there are more positives and benefits to hybrid vehicles than there are electric vehicles.
Yeah. And I mean, nobody's really attempted it before, but a hybrid diesel engine, you're talking about incredible fuel economy with that. And
yeah, that'd be tough.
Who knows how much more low-end torque you would get from the jump. It just, yeah. But again, car companies can't be bothered with that sort of thing. And everyone's decided that they're just going to skip over that and go to EVs.
Yep. And then we're going to charge you for everything in the EV. So
don't like having the window open, but the wind and sound from outside makes the journey easier to stay awake if it's hot, bright, and in the summertime. Yeah, but I think one thing to keep in mind, just a matter of perspective, Harold, is that no matter where you go in Europe, the driving distances are always going to be a lot shorter compared to anything you find here in America. There are some parts of America where half an hour's drive is considered a short trip, whereas in places in the UK and in the EU, that would almost be like a day trip for a lot of people. But for the Americans, it's nothing. That's just your daily jaunt or driving to work in the morning.
Like one best example is in Texas. We have a city like the DFW area, and then we have El Paso, Texas. It takes 8 hours to get from Dallas, Fort Worth to El Paso, and that's in one state.
Yeah.
It takes 6 hours to drive from DFW to San Antonio, 4 hours to Houston, Austin. Pick your poison out of the two. That's in one state.
Yeah. EU bros, that could be, 6 to 8 hours. You're talking about a jaunt through most or maybe about half of continental Europe. I think with like a good 10, 12-hour road trip, you could, I could be, it's, again, having not traversed through Europe or the United Kingdom in a long time, especially on a car. I could be completely and totally wrong. Feel free to correct me on this. Anyone in chat or anyone in the comments. But 10 to 12 hours drive, you could probably traverse through most of Western and probably get into parts of Central Europe if you really pushed it and just did not stop anywhere.
12-hour trip, and for me, it's when I had got my Camaro when I drove from Colorado to Texas. 12 hours, and most of it was in Texas.
Yeah,
Amarillo to Dallas.
Yeah, that's a long ass journey, and I've made that journey myself a few times as well from Amarillo to Dallas. That's it's beautiful out there in some parts, absolutely beautiful. Wide open, God's country. But yeah, it's also a long journey, and a lot of the Euro bros, they're just like, I could never. Rex, $1 million tax free, but the only music programming you can listen to in your car is Bjork at a loud volume. No podcasts for other genres. Radio speakers are unbreakable. Can't mute or lower it. Outside your car, you can listen to anything else. I would walk. I would ride. I would ride a bicycle, or get on a motorbike, or get another car. No, that sounds like hell. The trade-off for $1 million? No, just no.
Not $1 million. 10 million. You got me raised. You got me thinking. You got me contemplating. 1 million? No.
Because $1 million just doesn't go as far as it used to. Thanks, inflation. Yeah. I hate it. Half an hour is the bus distance from my hometown of Osbjerg to Horsens, where I used to go to school on the other side of Horsens at... I'm sorry, that's all Nordic speak there, Harold. I can't read that. 40-minute or more commute each way every day. Yeah. Standard American fare there, Steel Bear. I know the journey from here to Osberg to Friedrichshafen near Bodensee and Lake Constance near the Austrian and Swiss border with Germany. If you leave at 2 past midnight, you'll get there in the late afternoon. If you can get past Hamburg before morning traffic, otherwise you end up in Friedrichshafen in the evening. Sounds about right. Fairly dense there, so you're going to get caught in some hot spots for traffic. It's barely enough to buy a house here. It's barely enough to buy a house in America these days.
Man.
In this economy?
In this... Now, granted, houses are starting to dip in prices now.
Yes.
But what they're doing is they're charging like in my area, or because I don't know if it's all of Texas, but I know in my area what they're doing pit and mud costs, which is essentially what you're supposed to be paying the HOA for.
Mm-hmm. So
they just found another way to tax you. So not only are these houses way overpriced, but now they charging you basically the HOA fee. That's what's supposed to cover what pit and mud is. Now they separated, so now you're paying for your amenities twice.
Yeah, it'll work until it doesn't. They're going to keep trying to milk as much as they can, as long as they can justify it. But they're very quickly running out of time, I think.
And they're wondering why people are rather getting in apartments. And in apartments, they try to do that. They try to, lowball people and raise markets because, people can afford houses and stuff like that. But people found a way just to like, you know what? Especially with these companies was buying rental houses. So basically, these apartments think they can just charge anybody like what, $1,500, $1,700 for a 1-bedroom. And then these companies that bought houses say, you know what? $1,600 for a 3-bed, 2-car garage. What's up? And how many people jumped into those houses? So apartments is like, how about $1,100? There you go. Still a little bit too pricey, but there you go.
Still way too expensive. All of it's just too bloody expensive. Yuck indeed.
Man.
Where they've been doing road work on the motorways near Hamburg for over 10 years now. And they'll probably keep at it for another 20 years. Same with the highway systems here in America.
Mm-hmm. Which they only put in tolls every freaking where. So
it's the only, especially in states like Texas, it's the only way they can manage to afford to get their money back on the projects, because no one in the state legislature in Austin has the balls to raise taxes on anyone.
Oh, they better not. People are going to riot.
That will cost you an election. You will not only be primaried, you would probably get recalled.
Man.
Yeah.
Man, real quick.
Yeah. So those of you Texas bros out there, embrace the suck and get your text tag.
This point, not necessarily plug-in, not full EV. But there are now ways to have mild hybrids that control certain components of the car or that fill in a little bit extra in terms of power when you're accelerating. And they're really beneficial in terms of fuel economy, and they don't seem to add that much more to the price. Other than that, front camera's nice, but the automaker can charge for that. You'll pay it, You know what?
Fuck you. You'll pay for it.
Yep.
There are a lot of cars that come with the thing. And
I don't know. Texans have also allowed mass H-1B invasions of Indians and Mohammedans, and it just
unfortunately we were lied to.
Yeah.
But now we're trying to get the asses out. I'm sorry. Like, you guys are cool and all, but y'all gotta go. Californians, y'all gotta go too.
As Rupert Lowe so famously said, if it means millions must go, then millions must go.
Look, and I think we need to go ahead and do a mass deportation. All Californians must go except for Joe Rogan and Leaflet. They're cool, but everybody else got to go. And we got, and then y'all can come back, but we got to check your paperwork. Who you voted for? You voted for what's his name, Newsom? Oh, you got to stay. You voted for Larry Elder? Come on in.
Yeah.
If you voted for the communists, you got to deal with the communists.
Yeah, you don't get to weasel your way out of your stupid luxury beliefs. Megalum, welcome in. Happy Ladder Day, y'all. That's what we should have called the stream, Ladder Day.
Unless you pay the money.
And don't think I don't pay attention to you too, you New Yorkers. Don't think I ain't got my eye on you.
Yeah, you Yanks in the most literal sense. Fuck off back where you came from. Or go to Florida. You can be their problem.
Yes.
Brandon Herrera, AK guy, yes. Those of you Texas bros, if you are in that district, please vote for Brandon Herrera in the upcoming election.
Yes.
Rex, what if it was up to 5 or 10 million? Same scenario. How much would make Bjork tolerable? Bjork, that's just it. Bjork is not tolerable. The whole notion itself is a misnomer. It's like, no, it's Bjork. And I would say, unless I get to fuck Bjork, which it's like, no, she's kind of getting a bit long in the tooth. It's like, when she was a little bit younger, in her 20s and 30s, maybe, but no, just no. Kalashnikov patriotism, ye howdy whore.
Physically, behind a thing. And it's like laughable, but that's like how it's done sometimes.
Yeah. Now, one of the biggest traps with healthy snacks is just how misleading they are. A lot of protein bars, I've noticed, still spike your blood sugar, contain hidden sugars, or
this is all ads. We're not doing that.
So we're done.
Yeah. That's a minute and a half of ads at the end. Yeah, we're not doing that. We will give you a like, though, but we're not going to.
At least they made it. They pushed it at the end where people pretty much going to be like, yeah, we ain't done.
That was decent of them. Mm-hmm. Get the music going again. We'll drop that in the, let me drop that in the Rumble chart. Bjork, yes. Icelandic singer who looks like a cross between a white girl and an Asian girl. Think Alyssa, what's-her-face, the ice skater, only a bit more, slightly more butterface or something? I don't know. Hard to describe.
She finding out butterface? Basically, sort of. The body is like an 8, but the face is like a 3.
A bit, yeah.
Okay, yeah. She's finding out butterface.
Yeah. Right. I think I possibly need to call it here unless we want to keep going with some other things. We've got so many other things we did.
Let's see.
We've kind of made this into a car-themed program today.
Mm-hmm.
Talk of, kit cars and repurposing existing road-going cars. We did a react to this a while back on the channel. You can check it out on the YouTube side of things. Lord Rexworth VT. There's a Japanese company out there that is taking existing road-going cars and turning them, these are fairly average cars, but turning them into absolute masterpieces like this. It's called the Mitsuoka M55, getting Dodge Challenger vibes. And if you can believe it, built on a platform of a Honda Civic hatchback.
Now, chat, I already mentioned this to Lord Rex, but okay, everybody hates the new Dodge Hornet, how the way it looks. Now, what if Dodge would have made the Hornet look like this? How many people would be buying this car? Because I said, if I definitely would.
Yeah,
I definitely would. If the Hornet looked just like this, I'll be rolling in one.
It's eminently practical, 4-door saloon car, hatchback, plenty of power underneath.
Have a nice appearance, all that.
Yeah, and then there's this also from Mitsuoka. It's called the Mitsuoka Rockstar. Looks like a smaller scale version of an old style Chevy Corvette.
Yeah, it does.
Actually, a lot of Stingray vibes with this.
Yeah.
This is actually built on a Mazda MX-5 platform.
It looks good. The only thing I hate the little tablets. The instrument cluster, beautiful.
Yeah, that's all left over from Mazda.
I hate that. I hate the little tablet thing. I hate it to Can we please stop doing that, car companies?
Yeah. Rex and Spider car show title: the Tip Top Tire Show or the Slippy Lubes Show. We'll save Slippy Lube for after hours. Can we get a side view? There's your side view right there. They've even tried to replicate the old style wheels.
Yeah. I would love to have that in my garage. That's definitely a weekend. That's the weekend, March, where the weather is starting to get a little bit better, not too hot, not too cold. You could drop the top and just feel it.
Oh, of the M55, you mean? Okay, we can do that. This from Car and Driver. Go view the photos.
Look at that thing. That could have been a Dodge Hornet. What the hell, Dodge? Well, Stellantis. What the hell Stellantis was thinking?
I don't know. We are talking about the same company that decided to revive Lancia and slap the badge on Chrysler 300s and Town and Country minivans.
And then these are the same idiots that decide to kill all gas-powered engines just to be forced to bring them back because, surprise, surprise, nobody wants to buy an EV with a speaker as a sound.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I can say with Stellantis, even though I hate them, they are the only car company that actually have V8s in their trucks. Everywhere else does it. And it has a manual. It has a manual. Oh God.
Yeah,
oh God.
They do have a manual version. That's pure Honda manual transmission there.
But this looks like the Integra. Yeah, this is the Acura ILX.
Yeah,
interior.
the Acura Integra and the Honda Civic hatchback, they share the same platform and everything. So a lot of it really interchangeable. I think the engine in the Integra is one of the top shelf Honda engines. I don't know if it's the equivalent of the Civic S. It might be. I think it's a Civic SI. Yeah, it's a Civic SI engine in the Acura Integra. The main difference between that and Honda Civic SI is that you can get the Integra with CVT transmission instead of being forced to do manual with the Honda.
Yeah, they put in everything CVT now. I think some of them are manuals. The Integra, because I think they do have manuals in some Integras.
Yeah. And it's a manual. Let's fucking go. Kind of chunky, but for a 2+2, I don't hate it. Yeah, no, it's that's a nice little car. Eminently practical. Plenty of room for, wife and kids, and some luggage in the back to, take a weekend trip.
The hatchback, that's what gives it the room. I've drove a couple of Integras before, and you would think the trunk would be non-existent, but because it's a hatchback, you have plenty of space to put your groceries in.
And if need be, fold the seats down.
That could have been that too. That could have been a sexy Dodge. Oh my God, they dropped the ball. Dropped the ball. But now I can see the now I can see the Integra, that line right there, that silver little line. That's the Integra. Yep. So you're right.
Yeah, right. I think
it looks good.
It does. No, it meets Soroka. They've made some beautiful cars over the year. The Orochi, the Gallue, all of these built off of fairly standard Japanese economy cars, but what they've been able to do with these is just they've turned them into practical works of art.
Yeah, they're beautiful. And Elucidator, nope. When I teach, I don't put you on heels until you're able to go through all the gears. No problem. Then I introduce heels. I'm not one of those assholes you barely know when to shift and then put you on a heel.